Hey, what's up, guys? I got an email today from someone asking about a previous YouTube video I did where I talk about kind of how like the formula I use to distribute like my funds, like how do I determine how much money I put back into my business and use for like marketing, stuff like that. I'll be honest, I don't remember what video that was. So instead of going and trying to search for it, I was just like, oh, I'll make a new video in case someone is interested in this. So this is kind of, you should see a graphic in front of you. This is kind of how when money comes in, when I have income, the circle here in the middle, when I have income, how do I distribute that income out and how do I determine where it goes? Because if you don't, what I have found, if you don't assign your money, if you don't assign a specific purpose to it, it disappears. It goes away. I'm not very good at budgeting, so I just assign purpose to every dollar that comes in and then just put it in the corresponding bucket, the corresponding account, whatever it is that I have. And that helps me kind of control and know where my money is going. And but budgeting is definitely something that I could be better at. But I found this has been helpful for me. I got this concept from a book. I would encourage everyone to read this book if you want to increase your financial well-being. This book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Great book, fantastic book. Very, this coupled with where is it? This coupled with Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, as well as the Cash Flow Quadrant, both by Robert Kiyosaki. These three books, awesome books. I think they should be mandatory reading for every high school student, probably every person in the United States, because they just don't teach us this stuff in school. The schooling system failed me and has failed a lot of people when it comes to financial education. So I would definitely recommend these three books. They're not hard reads. They're about they're about 200 pages each. Yeah, so they're not hard, but definitely would recommend those. But Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, this is where I got this concept of just putting my money in buckets. So when I have income, every dollar that comes in, 10% of that goes into a tithing / charity fund. This is just something that I do as part of my beliefs, is that I try to give back where I can, whether it's to my church or whether it's to a community or a nonprofit. A nonprofit that I really like to donate to is Operation Underground Railroad. Their whole mission is to help rescue slaves, people that are subject to sex trafficking, human trafficking in general. Very deep, dark issue. I suggest that you read up on it. But that's one I like to do. I also donate to my church. So yeah, 10% goes to tithing. 20% goes right back into my business. This is to help, with marketing stuff. And I like to so right now what I like to do is, well, I didn't have this before, but I've been building up kind of a reserve for both my personal expenses and my business expenses. So right now I have 6 months of reserves for my business and then 6 months of reserves for my life, like my mortgage and all that good stuff. So I'm pretty conservative. I'm not a very, there's a lot of people out there that are like, if you have money in the bank, you're losing value, which is true with depreciation. I understand that, but I'm conservative, and I don't know. I'm not in a super big rush to try to put all of my dollars to work, because here's the thing, having an emergency fund or just some cash that you know if something happens to you, you can weather the storm. The amount of peace that that brings into my life is priceless. And so when I am feeling peace and I'm not worried about having to pay my mortgage next month or my rent, I just operate better as a human being, as a business owner. Um, I remember what it was like stressing about monthly bills when I was a corrections officer, and I don't want to go back to that life. So I have 6 months of expenses for my business and 6 months for my personal lifestyle. And I'm actually working to build that to 12 months. Personal decision. But 20% goes back into my business. Taxes. I put away 40% for taxes. And a lot of you are like, what the crap? You pay 40% in taxes. No, not necessarily, but I save, I make sure that that money is put away so that when tax bill comes, I'm not surprised. Any money that I'm able to save via tax strategies, for my CPAs. So this isn't my effective tax rate, obviously, but I save this much for taxes. But anything I'm able to save via tax strategies, like renting your house out to your business, business deductions, things of that nature. Anything I save in taxes goes back into my business. And then we go down here, living expenses. I try to live on 10% of my income or less. Wasn't always like that, but that's kind of that's what I shoot for. Sometimes it goes over, sometimes it's less, sometimes it fluctuates, but 10% goes towards my living expenses. If there's money left over, it goes into the emergency fund. So I try to live below this, actually. 5% of every dollar that comes in goes into an education fund. And this fund is basically used to fund my education. And what do I mean by that? I am constantly learning. I am constantly investing in books, courses, mentorship. The only reason I've made progress, and I talked about this in a video the other day, is that I have learned from people that are smarter than me and just done what they told me to do. So education is very important to me. And so I just have a fund specific for investing in masterminds, courses, books, coaches, mentorships, anything that falls in that realm of education. Which is nice too, because all of that is tax deductible. We go down here, we have this health. 5% of every dollar that comes in goes into a health fund. This is to just pay for like gym memberships, or I like to go get my blood work done once a quarter, make sure everything's working good. Other health things like, if I'll use it to buy, anything health related, whether it's like food prep or healthy meals. I'll take that out of the health fund, or if I need to go to the doctor or the dentist. Insurance costs, health insurance, when you're self-employed, health insurance sucks. It's very expensive, so I put money away for health insurance, but also for the high deductible that we have in case we ever have to meet that, so that if something does happen, we have money to pay for our portion of our insurance before it's 100% covered. So that's one of the downsides of being self-employed, is your insurance sucks. Your health insurance sucks. I'll be honest, I don't even have dental insurance. It's just not worth it. I do go to the dentist, but I just save money and pay cash to go to the dentist. So something to think about. I do miss the insurance from the military and when I was a corrections officer. It was really good, but it is what it is. You trade some things for other things. So 5% goes to my health and my family. 5% goes into a fund for investing. So this is things that this is outside of my business. I like to experiment with types of investments. I've gotten a little bit into cryptocurrencies. I've done a little bit of, this is like outside investing. I've invested in like liens, judgment liens. This is money I can afford to lose, but it's money that I put to work to try to, one, gain knowledge in certain investments and also to put my money to work. So I hope, my goal actually is to raise this percentage once I have my 12 months saved up for business and living expenses. Once I reach that point, I will be raising this percentage in the investing category. And then here at the bottom, 5% goes into a travel fund, or just a fund for life experiences. So, for example, last year we went to, where did we go? We went to Europe in the spring, and then we went to Asia in the fall in 2019. And so we had saved up for all of that. Travel is important to our family, going and seeing new countries and experiencing different cultures. So we save money for that specific purpose. And then also when something comes up, if we want to go out to a nice dinner, or at the end of the month, there's like a sports car thingy going on where you can go drive a Ferrari for $100 or something like that. So I'll probably, I'll go spend $100 to go test out a Ferrari just because it's an experience, right? Not going to buy one. I don't think I would ever buy a sports car, but I'd like to drive one at least once just to see what it's like. So things like that, life experiences that are just kind of fun, something you can splurge on. We have a fund for that. So that's how I distribute my money for those that are interested. I just have these buckets and allocate certain percentages. So don't know if that was interesting or not, but hopefully it helps. It's helped me. The system works well for me personally, but you definitely research and find a system that works well for you. So that's all I have for you today. Obviously, when you start making good money in your business and with overages and surplus funds, just assign a purpose to every dollar that comes in. And that way it'll help you keep track of it. If you need help getting started on making that extra income from overages, check out the link below or go to school.overagecourse.com, and I'm here to help you do that. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks, guys.